I think I would be remiss if I didn't do a dedication to George Michael. I was very sad to hear that this man passed away. He helped me to come out. When his albums Listen Without Prejudice came out, this was years before he came out, before he was outed in that incident in California. And of course, the incident in California was only an incident because being gay was still a crime, taboo. And things have changed dramatically since then. So as an adult, I've enjoyed freedoms that he didn't have, that he had to sing about. But he did sing songs directly to us, and I'll get to Flawless. But what I want to say is, back when he came out with the album Older, this was 95, 96, this was the time that I was struggling to come out to my own father. I was out to myself, but struggling to come out to different people in my family. And there he was. I will never forget this. And you know how you try and place music, because some of his music is quite timeless. Like, I think the stuff from the Wham era sounds quite 80s. But ironically, a lot of the stuff from the 90s, and he was a big part of that, sounds so contemporary. And so when you look at what he did, he shaved his head. He had a little Eddie Munster. He had the goatee or the soul patch. He was remixing soul music. He was a bit more open about his influences of Stevie, how he literally would just do Stevie Wonder. And he was so good at singing Stevie Wonder songs. And so even to know that Stevie Wonder mutually influenced George Michael and I'm not even a musician, but it made me closer to him. Now, what he did with the album Older, where his look was, this is what the gay look was of the day. Let's be clear. He didn't say it, and on the Wikipedia page, he says that, he was pretty clear that his look was gay, and he knew it. But to the uninitiated, you wouldn't have necessarily known. But to me, the lyrics to Jesus to a Child, and seeing him in that look and singing, I thought, how could the world deny gayness when we're capable of loving so incredibly, deeply, so profoundly, and yet so innocently, like Jesus to a Child? That, I think, for me, cemented a lot, that I was already there, but it cemented to me that I unquestionably have to be myself, have to learn and continually learn to accept myself, to teach myself self-love, because the world around us, just like the world can deny the love between Jesus and a child, when it comes to gay people, effectively, that's what people do and did and do. Well, he changed all of that. The second part of what George Michael did, and why I think it's really important to recognize this, is so he did his thing in the 90s where he was being a gay icon. And of course, during that same era when Older came out, there was the incident in California, so he turned it around and he came out with Outside. So he was already being out. So he's a gay superhero. We must say that. Now, years later, when he came out with Flawless, listen to the song. He's just telling gay people, you're flawless. There's nothing wrong with you. You're absolutely beautiful. You're not just some fucked up piece of ass. He literally says in the song. And it's giving me goosebumps now. I'm getting chills because, I think about how Madonna sort of reached out or appropriated gay culture, we have to say, not just Vogue, but the entire girly show. Whereas here's an actual gay person who couldn't appropriate, like this was him. He had to not only sing about us if he wanted to, but off screen, he lived as a gay person. And so that's what made his voice so authentic. And I think to many gay people, I think of even just listening to some of his music, when I've listened to it, it's been with other gay people. Because he's meant that much to so many of us. We have our divas, but he is our Devo. He's our Devo. Now, think about this. I said Flawless, directly a song talking about building the self-esteem of gay people. But even before that, with the album Older, look at what he did. Jesus to a Child, and on the flip side, Fast Love. And again, what was I in 1995? 20 years old, being in terms with myself, and learning to love. I don't think I'd ever really been in love. I'd had teenage love, but I'd never really been in love. at that time, but just to see the flip sides, Jesus to a Child, and the flip side, Fast Love. And I felt like Jesus to a Child is who we are, but fast love is who the society makes us be. It doesn't allow us to actually love. It only puts us into a situation where we can have clandestine sexual relationships, but finding love is much more difficult, which is ironic because because love is love. I think love overpowers all. But to see that he sang about both of those things on an album and then went on and went on and went on, that's why he's a gay superhero, and that's why he will be sorely, sorely missed.